Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, or should I say tonight's video, I'm going to be talking about bi-weekly budgeting. I have promised you this video ever since I came out with different types of budgeting. I promised you guys this back when I even first started talking about budgeting. Now I have finally decided to upload this video, and the reason why I kept pushing it back is because I actually wanted to test this budgeting tip. Because for me, I have used this once or twice, but now it seems like I'm using it more because it seems like every job I get now is bi-weekly, so it kind of helping me out a lot. Just a little few tips or information about bi-weekly. I will be talking about a lot of tips, a lot of pros and cons, a lot of things you should do to get prepared for bi-weekly budgeting. So hopefully you guys get your snacks, get your drinks, get everything you can, and let's jump into this video. Okay? First, let's start off explaining bi-weekly. If you don't know what bi-weekly is you getting paid every 2 weeks or twice per month. If you getting paid twice per month, it's like you getting 24 checks, and then if you are getting paid bi-weekly, you get 26 checks. And you have like 10 months where you get 2 checks, and then you have 2 months where you're getting 3 checks. And that's if you're getting paid bi-weekly. Now, if you're getting paid twice per week, just know that you're getting paid 24 checks, because 12 times 2 is 24. So yeah, that's that. But with everything, when it comes to budgeting, any kind of budgeting, you always will have pros and cons. The pros of you doing this whole bi-weekly budgeting is you have to take into account the timing of your paychecks. Sometimes company will give you like a list of dates when you get paid, and sometimes you could just do it like after you get started. When you get started, just put a week in a hole and you get paid that next week. And it allows you to plan out your it allows you to plan and save up for special events like weddings, like birthday parties, like get-togethers, even vacations. So you'll have that time to save up. And again, you have to keep up with your dates. Another thing that is kind of great about this bi-weekly budget, you also have months where you get like 3 paychecks. It gives you room to put it into your savings account. It gives you room to pay off certain kind of debts. And also it gives you more to work towards like the following month bills. And then another one I have to say is an easy way to keep track of bill payments and times and all of that stuff with this budget in place. Sometimes you do have to move your dates around, and you probably will hear me constantly say that about your bills. You constantly have to move the dates around, and sometimes you can call companies and they'll let you move your billing date to a certain time. I know if you have like a loan, or if you have like a credit card or something, or if you have like a phone bill or something, they do have it where you can move your dates around. Sometimes it just depends on the company and the management of that company. With everything, like I said, there is cons. And the only thing I have to say about this, it does take a lot of your time to set it up. It is a lot of give and take. It is a lot of trial and errors with this budgeting tip, because sometimes, like I said, you constantly have to move dates, and you constantly have to pay attention to the date you're getting paid. Sometimes you have to pay your bill earlier than the date, and sometimes you have to pay it later within the month because of the date it's set and when you get paid. The second thing, you might have to, like I said, move some bills around, and all that stuff just to make this budgeting work. Because sometimes, let's say for instance, your water bill is due on the 15th, but you're not getting paid until like the 30th. Then you have to, like, your first check that you got, you have to go ahead and pay that water bill or light bill whenever it's due. And then when the 26th or the 30th come, then you'll have to switch like some bills around and pay that bill before the next month, and so on. Um, but like I said, it do comes with like a downfall, because like I said, you do have that third paycheck, and sometimes people pay all their bills within the first and third week of the month. So then when they get that extra paycheck, sometimes you go off and blow it on other things that's unnecessary without putting some back for the things like you need, like to put on extra bills, or to put on extra debt, or just to put it in your savings account. So you have to be mindful of that. That's the only reason the only downfall to this is you will get extra checks, and sometimes with those extra checks, you like, ooh, free money, let's go blow it. But then when the next week come and your check is kind of short, and let's just say you're not working as many hours as you did the following paycheck period, then you won't have nothing to cover it. So that's the reason why I say that third paycheck is to cover any bills that you think you will become low in. And even when you're budgeting in envelopes, you could always take that money out the bank and put it in envelopes. Sometimes if I have cash, I'd rather swipe my card than pay with cash. So every cash I get, I stick it into my envelopes, of course. These envelopes. And I know you guys have been waiting on a budgeting stuffing envelopes. I'm not really ready to do that right now, because it's not really my rotation of videos, but it is coming. And I might start this sometime next year, because I have other videos. I'll have like 100 some videos to get out. So I do want to put these in rotation for next year. And honestly, I don't even think that these envelopes, I have to get new envelopes, because some of them have that little sticky glue on it. So we'll just talk about that when that time comes. So now I'm finna get into the part to where the whole preparation comes in handy. I know most of us, we use like planners, but it's best to, like, if your planner doesn't come with a full month, then maybe you need to either print out it or just get yourself a calendar, a wall calendar. And I mean physically. I mean, you can do this on your phone, but I prefer, it's easier to see it like up close. And these is like a visual view of the whole month, and then the important events. So this is how I do it. I get like the whole month calendar. I know I have one on my wall and one on my desk. Sometimes that does work, but then I like to see it. I like to write all over my calendar just for my eyes only. So I will print out like a calendar. I will first write in like the special events I have planned for that month. And then also I will write in like any contractual duties I got to do for like my wedding business. So then I write them in, and then I go get a red ink pen, of course, write it down, my bills and all that stuff. And then that's how I plan out what I need to do, like for like savings and all that stuff, how much I need to put back for whatever event I have coming up. Basically, I'm organizing my expenses. And sometimes I try to I try to add in like extra money that I will add into like bigger debts, especially my student loans. Like I told you guys, my student loan is broken down. Not that I had finished paying it off, but apparently not. So I try to add extra money to it, because my student loan now is like $548 a month, and I try to add in extra money, because if you pay extra money for 3 months, they'll lower your well, I know my company, they'll lower your monthly payments for the rest of the year, and that's what I've been doing. Another thing I would like to say, you guys need to come up with like a buffer. And the only thing that this biweekly budgeting will help is if you already have like a month saved up. But just to get a month ahead. Um, but you always have to have that buffer, emergency funds, sinking funds, like just in case. This kind of give you like wiggle room, just in case you have something that you was unexpected to come up and it did, and you really don't have that extra money from your check to pay for it. You can lean on your emergency and your sinking funds. That is why people kind of combine bi-weekly budgeting to the envelope method, because if something come up, let's just say you put in your money for like going to the hospital or running out of gas, or you need something fixed on your car, you can always go back into your sinking funds or your emergency funds and dip into that and get it out for your car, so you won't have to be left out in the cold with no air, or no heater, or you have no water because you didn't pay the water bill. You got kicked out because you couldn't pay your rent or your mortgage. So just be mindful of that. But like I said before, any budgeting even start, just make sure you have a month saved up of your bills or however much it costs. Usually I try to save up at least 1,200 like the month before I even start any kind of budgeting, just so it can buffer everything else out. I also start tracking all my spending habits, my spending expenses. Even I start tracking my savings of what I did the month before, even the year before. And that's the reason why you guys see me with a lot of notebooks, because honestly, I got a lot of numbers up here. I got a lot of thoughts up here. I got a lot of problems up in my head. So that's the reason why I have a lot of notebooks, so I can get past get past everything without stressing myself out. Now, sometimes I do become overwhelmed because all the numbers and all the thoughts and all that stuff. But I basically write it down, print out calendars, have a planner, and you guys, that planner comes in handy. Okay? So, yeah, that's just a little bit about that. Now, I'm going to give you guys some more great tips that you can use in your budgeting, especially when it comes to bi-weekly budgeting. Like I said, just make sure, just a quick recap of everything, because I know I've been spitting out a lot of information to you guys. Just make sure you write everything down. I know sometimes we depend on these phones, but girl, sometimes those phones can get like, you can lose it get turned off, you delete everything. Sometimes it just start fresh and everything that you conquered up is gone. So that's the reason why I said make sure you write everything down. And then this is budgeting, so you have to write something down. You get what I'm saying? It's not all going to be electronic. Of course, there are some apps that you can get on your phone to track spending. Sometimes your bank app will help you track that spending. I know for Chime, they do it, but they don't put it in like categories. They tell you where it went specifically, but they just don't tell, okay, you spent this at groceries, you spent this at the hospital, you spent this at you did so much for your diabetic supplies, you paid this bill with this much. It don't do that. It does tell you like exactly where you spent it at. Chase do it, but Chase is kind of complicated sometimes, because it don't automatically take out savings. Like I don't think it does. It probably does. I just haven't tried it, but I know it doesn't take it. To me, it doesn't. It's not simple like Chime is. When it comes to Chase, you really have to be on your toes and pay attention to your fees. Chase has a lot of fees comes out, and that's the reason why I'm not a big Chase fan, or what is it, Bank of America. I'm not a big Bank of America type person. Now Chime is okay because I think they're doing away with their withdrawal fees and all that stuff, but it's just kind of difficult. But then I will say, when it comes to online bank, if you take money out for like envelope methods, it's hard to like find, it's hard to like get money back in, because sometimes you have to pay. I know for chime it's $3.95 to reload that card. So just pay attention to fees. If your bills due date are not working, call the companies and they'll ask for a due date change. You don't have to ask for extended time. You can ask for a due date change. Um, and like I said, save up 1 month of your expenses. Sit down with your significant other and write down your expenses. And then if you have to divide your expenses, then don't worry about the division part. Just worry about, okay, this is how much the water bill is. Let's just say your water bill is $80, and let's just say you and your significant other decide to split that water bill. He pay 40, you pay 40. Don't worry about his half. Worry about, okay, the water bill is $80. Okay, I gotta pay $80 for that. Okay, let's just say the light bill is $40. Don't worry about his $20. Just write it down. The light bill is $40. You get what I'm saying? So you will always have that covered. Sometimes if you do work it out that way, you'll have 2 months saved up. Because I know me, even though right now I'm in like a situation to where I'm paying bills, but I'm also saving. And when I say saving, it's kind of hard for me to save right now because of this big student loan bill. But everything else, I try to focus on, okay, if I'm going to shop on Amazon, I give myself a set budget. And if I go over that budget, I take away that percentage from my next check. So next time, let's just say I go over $20. Next time I go on Amazon and shop, let's just say I'm going to subtract $20 and I'm going to give myself like a $40 budget. You get what I'm saying? Things like that. Now, like I always say, this is where it comes in a little tricky. Like I said about the third paycheck. Now, I know I talked about the third paycheck, but pay down your debt with that third paycheck. I know sometimes we get $1,200 on that third check, but at least put a little less than half of that to that big old debt that you have. Let's just say you have a credit card and you have to pay $400 every month. Then if you have to do that, then go ahead and pay like $450 or $480 of that credit card with that third check, and then the rest of the money you'll put some money away towards like some emergency savings. You could put it in your sinking funds. You could put it into like let's just say if you have like streaming services, you could put it towards that. If you have a big light bill like I do, Lord have mercy, that light bill is ridiculous. If you have like a big light bill, put it back and like, okay, I'm gonna pay half this month and then half this week and half next week. Take that third check and put it in your sinking funds or your savings account, or even put it into your envelope method, and then put it in your light bill and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna pay for on my light bill and all of that stuff. Sometimes you could also take that third paycheck and put it towards vacation, or just traveling, or just taking a road trip with your girls. You get what I'm saying? Because all this saving and budgeting, sometimes you have to go back to, okay, I need to enjoy my money. So just put it back towards that. So yeah, like I said from the beginning, just put enough to the side to where when next month come, you'll have that cushion where you just don't have to say, oh, I wish I had more money. Or let's say your spouse come up a little short on like groceries or something, then you'll have that little cushion to fall back on with that third check. Just don't go out and blow your money, because invest your money. Because sometimes things are getting so expensive. Even though gas is going down, girl, food is going up. You get what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think about the biweekly budgeting method. Is there something you thinking about doing? Is there something you thinking about adding with another budgeting? Because sometimes, every budget can be combined to another budgeting system. They kind of work, but you have to find the two that work for your family if you're going to combine them like that. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a little tad bit. Bi-weekly budgeting work miracles for me. It just depends on your spending habit. That's a lot of these budgeting I'm putting out for you guys. It just depends on your spending habit. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe before you leave, because I know some of you just want to get up and leave. But make sure you subscribe. Now, see you guys in my next video. You guys, be safe out there and be blessed. Bye, guys.